we were looking at actually taking and allocating that full money, instead of holding that back for land, allocating that to them for those for capital maintenance items. Because Renee Pascal and Lisa McFadden had worked with Mr. Matthews with the school system to identify those maintenance, those capital maintenance needs. And I do believe that they are on that list of, chillers, roof, HVACs and things like that. So that was what we were looking at doing with that full range of that lottery revenue. So, we had, based on some plans to move forward with allocating that money to have a defined mechanism to pay for those needs moving forward.
That's exactly why we voted not to do it when the last time it come up.
I think I'm hearing that we don't want to go forward with that.
But you got to vote on it at some point in time.
So I guess this is Paula again. I guess what you'll need to do is if you would like to put it before a vote, because I think they need an answer by the 7th, and that's our next meeting. So if you want to put it on the 7th agenda as a discussion item or as that, we can do that.
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
And for that meeting, Kimberly, could you have that information about the last 5 years of lottery funds?
Yes, sir.
In a
Yes,
hard
sir.
copy for us? Yes, thank you.
I just forwarded it to Paula, so we can put it out and kind of get a little pretty.
Thank you.
And Paula will email it to us, right?
I will. Yeah, we'll get it in a format that is presentable, and we'll send it to you today.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Fleming. We appreciate your assistance today.
Thank you so much, everybody. Good to hear from you, and look forward to speaking again with you soon. Take care now.
Good presentation. Thank you, sir. All right, Department of Social Services update.
Yes, sir. Can anybody hear me? Okay. I'm Paul Polinsky. I'm the director with Harnett County Department of Social Services, and this is Miss Kelly Kelly. She's the deputy director. I've been with the agency for 30 years as of July. I'll say I'm very proud of where I work. I truly believe in our mission. The mission statement of Harnett County Department of Social Services is to provide services to individuals and families to achieve self-sufficiency, safety, and improve their quality of life. I try to take every opportunity I can to talk about what all DSS does. I think a lot of people just think that we issue food stamps and we provide Medicaid to individuals in the county, but we do a whole lot more than that. And I just want to talk to you today about some of the services that we provide. I did provide a brochure of the services that we provide. It gives a little breakdown of each service on there. I'll leave some business cards with my phone number, email address as well. So if you have any questions after today, definitely feel free to get up with me. But definitely I want to thank you for allowing me to come over. One thing I want to talk about, and a lot of people don't know, every year our adult services section, and this is adult services is a social work department that works with individuals that are 18 or older. These individuals are either disabled or elderly. And we have what we call a Christmas Cheer program. And this is a program that we have done for 26 years. And this program has no county funds in it at all. This is something that the employees of DSS, the staff members of the adult services section, every year they try to have fundraisers, whether it's breakfast, whether it's raffles or whatever. But currently we have around $7,900 in our budget. And what we try to do is assist the elderly individuals in the county or some of those individuals in the rest homes with Christmas that a lot of us take for granted. Normally we assist 30 to 40 individuals a year. Pre-COVID, we would put our applications in the lobby normally in November, and we would allow the public to fill out those applications, and then adult services would get around the table and they would verify the information and try to prioritize the needs. But due to COVID, we weren't able to do that this year. We still want to participate and allow this program to go forward. So what we're going to do is to provide Christmas to our wards. These are individuals that the director of DSS is responsible for making life decisions for, and we have about 33 wards right now. So we're going to provide Christmas for those individuals, because a lot of those individuals do not have, the funds just for the basic necessities, underwear, shoes, things like that. Most of these individuals are in rest homes or nursing homes, and they get that little, I'll be honest with you, it's just a small amount. It's $66 a month personal money in a rest home. A nursing facility is $36 a month. So by the time you buy your shampoo, toothbrush, or whatever, toothpaste, they don't have money left over. So adult services is going to help those individuals. Also, we're going to help some of our individuals that we serve as payee for. You may not be aware, but DSS serves as payee for about 45 individuals. We receive these individuals mainly through Adult Protective Services, where they've been exploited by neighbors, family members, or whatever, and these individuals are not able to handle their own finances. So basically their retirement check, Social Security check, whatever, comes to DSS. We handle that money just like we do our own. We pay their bills first. Their funds are set up in a personal account. If there's money left over, then we, just like ourselves, we try to buy their needs. But a lot of these individuals, it's hard to survive off $700 or $800 a month, time you pay your rent, utilities, water. So we're trying to assist some of those individuals as well. This is basic necessities, washing powders. It's amazing to me how some of these individuals just want a new frying pan. Things that we take for granted, but it's just like gold to them. Plus, there is a program through the Department of Aging under the Health Department called the CAP program, Community Alternatives Program. And the Department of Aging has helped us over the years with Christmas stockings for our foster children. So we have decided this year, due to COVID, we're going to talk to the CAP office and try to assist some of the CAP clients that may need assistance with Christmas. Sort of, you help us, we're going to help you kind of thing. Like I said, we normally help 30 to 40 individuals. But this is something that the whole agency gets involved with. Like I said, pre-COVID, we would raise the money ourselves. At times, it's been a struggle to think of creative ways to bring the money in, but we have continued to do that. It's something that everybody looks forward to every year. We shop in county. We usually go to the Walmart in Dunn. We want that tax dollar to stay here in Harnett County. And it's amazing to me when we go to Walmart, when you spend $3,000 or $4,000 on things, groceries, clothes, and you're pushing out 20 shopping carts of items. But we plainly tell the individuals, ringing the items up, this is not county dollars, this is money that we at DSS have raised ourselves. So that's one thing we do every December. I'm proud of it. Like I said, we started over 26 years ago, and we continue to do that. So I just wanted to update you on that as well as something that we continue to want to do. Also, at this time of year, December the 1st, today, is when we start a low-income energy assistance program. This is a federally funded program that provides a one-time vendor payment to help eligible households with their heating bills. This year, we were given an allocation of $523,000. But also we were given an allocation of $211 for what they call pandemic low-income energy assistance. From December 1st to December 31st, first we help the households with individuals who are 60 or older or individuals that are disabled. And those that are disabled must be receiving services through adult services or through the Department of Aging. The state finally, after a number of years, and if you worked in adult services, you always felt like the elderly sort of get put on the back burner. But about 4 or 5 years ago, the state said, okay, from December through December 31st, we're going to help the elderly first. Starting January 1st, the Low Income Energy Assistance Program is opened up to other citizens of the county. The payment that an individual would receive is based on how they heat their home. If you heat your home with wood, which we still have several individuals that do, you would receive a one-time payment to the vendor of $300. If you heat with gas, it's a one-time payment of $400. And if you heat with electricity, it's one-time payment of $500. And the pandemic low-income energy assistance will automatically help the individuals who are 60 or older or disabled that received assistance last year. And that will come out of that $211,000, the pandemic funds. We have around 500 cases of individuals that fall under pandemic low-income energy assistance. So those individuals will automatically get a one-time vendor payment based on how they heated their home last year. That payment will go out again this year. Any questions regarding any of that? Also, I want to take time just to tell you about some other services that DSS has that you may not be aware of. I'd already mentioned pay ship for the elderly or disabled. DSS is also responsible for what we call unclaimed bodies. And we may have 1 or 2 of these a month. These are individuals that pass away, whether it's in the hospital, whether it's in a rest home or nursing home, and there's no one there to claim that body or take possession of that body. The general statute states that it's up to the local DSS to dispose of the remains. We try to contact family. We use all resources we can to try to contact family. And there's been times when we have contacted family and they just said that we're not able to, provide the funds for the cremation or the burial expenses. We do have a contract with a crematory up in Raleigh, and the average cremation is $450. But like I said, we average 1 or 2 of those a month, and that has increased over the last couple of years. We are also, this falls under our social workers and adult services. We're also responsible to license and monitor adult care homes or rest home, which either name you want to use. We go out to those rest homes every month to basically monitor, look at medication, look at food service, look at personal care. If someone is interested in opening a new facility or a small family care home, 7 beds or less, they basically start with DSS and we help them walk through the process. And it takes about a year and a half to actually get a license to open a facility. We also go out every day on Adult Protective Services report. These are for individuals that are elderly or disabled and that do not have someone who's willing and able to take care of any needs that they may have. And also we provide child protective services. I think everybody's definitely familiar with that. This is for children that have been abused, neglected, exploited. We continue to go out. I think on the average, we're averaging around 120 child protective services reports a month. Our numbers for adult protective services has gone up. I think we're around 10 or 12 reports a month now on that. We also, not only do we go out in the community for adult protective services report, but if we're in a rest home or nursing home, someone's been abused or neglected, then we go in there and investigate that as well. And we also work closely with law enforcement for adult protective services and for child protective services. So we have a very good relationship there. Children in foster care. Right now we have 171 children that are in DSS custody. That number goes up and down. Right now it's hovering around 165 to 175, but as of today we have 171 children. Our goal is always to try to reunify that child with the parent if at all possible. Of course, that does not always work, and we may have to terminate some parental rights, or that child may be put up for adoption. But thankfully, you do have a lot of grandparents who are raising their grandchildren. So a lot of these children, do end up going into foster care, but we do try to place them in what we call a kinship placement. Kinship is not always grandma, granddaddy, aunt, or uncle. It could be, parents' best friend, somebody from church or something like that. So we're fortunate to have that. Right now, though, we only have 43 licensed foster homes in the county. We did take the opportunity during the Halloween Boo drive-through to try to get some information out to the community that we need additional foster parents in Harnett County. So we're hoping that will come through and we can license some more foster parents. To brag a little bit about Department of Aging and our relationship with them, like I said, they provide stockings for our foster children. This year they've helped with 134 stockings, and those stockings have gifts, for the children. They didn't help with all 171 because the other children, either whoever they're staying with, the foster parents or grandma, granddaddy, aunt, or uncle, said that they could, meet the needs of those children without getting extra assistance. So the 134 through the Department of Aging, the stockings that were provided, those are for children that, do not have family members or loved ones to assist them. And the last couple things, I always like to say and get it out front that DSS, our positions are reimbursed from the state or the federal government at least 50%. Some are reimbursed higher, like our child support agents. We can get reimbursed from the federal government for their salaries, the fringe benefits, and all up to 66%. Some of our foster care positions can get reimbursed up to 75%. Some of our CPS positions, certain duties they perform during the day, can get reimbursed at 100%. So, our employees are responsible for doing day sheets, and we use certain codes based on the services that we're providing. Thankfully, we've got a electronic day sheet system now, and at the end of every month, Letitia Maynard, Letitia Maynard in finance basically bills the state every month for reimbursement from the state. So I'd just like to throw out there that if I come and ask for a position, we're at least going to get 50% or more reimbursed from the state or the Fed. So that is something that when I do come in front of the commissioners, I would definitely present that. And one thing also I like to talk about is the amount of money that DSS puts into the local economy, whether it's Harnett County economy, whether it's the state. Our energy programs, our crisis intervention and our low-income energy assistance, we put about a little bit over $1 million a year into the local economy. Our child care program, and right now I think we have 643 children that we're paying daycare assistance for. We put over $4.4 million annually into the local economy. And thankfully, you have allowed child support to now move from Irwin over to the Lillington office. We've got that nice addition. Child support came back under DSS about 10 years ago. They were with the state, but now they're back with the county. And every year they have continued to meet the goals set by the state. But this year, child support brought in over $10 million for the local economy. And a lot of people really don't understand how food stamps work and stuff, and if you wanted to take time and come and visit our agency when you had time, we'd be glad to sit down and talk a little more in detail about this. But food stamps puts into the local economy $26.9 million. And you think of Carly C's, you think of Food Line, you think of Walmart. What would our economy here in Harnett County be if we vacuumed that money out? So DSS puts in $42.3 million into the local economy, and that's something that I always like to talk about. Last month, the last 4 months, actually, we're averaging over $3.3 million each month for food stamps. We've seen a significant increase of over 1,000 households for our food stamp cases. A lot of that is related to COVID. And also I want to say, everybody that is receiving food stamps is not necessarily just sitting at home watching Price is Right. Actually, the state has a program where if you receive assistance with food stamps, then you can get assistance for 3 months, but after those 3 months you must be working, and if you're not working, your benefits stop. So believe it or not, we have military that receive assistance. We have military that receive daycare assistance. But most of the individuals that receive assistance through DSS are working. Our numbers have gone up due to COVID. Some are unemployed, their income is lower, so that makes them eligible for services that we provide. I will say, I feel that we're a very conservative agency, meaning that we truly try to help those that are in need, and if we see that you're frauding, we'll turn you over to our fraud department. We've got 5 or 6 employees that every day that's their job is to go out and seek fraud. We've got a new DA coming in, and Angela Warren, who's our program manager over our fraud department, she's going to talk to the new DA. We want to start carrying some cases to court for fraud, but we want to come up with a dollar amount that we can work with the DA and say if it's over this dollar amount, then yes, we can take it to court. Basically, that's all I have. Like I said, I'm proud of our work. I appreciate what Kelly assists me with, our relationship with the county manager's office. We always preach that we're family because we stay together with each other at work more than we do at home, at least pre-COVID anyway. Any questions regarding anything we talked about today? All right. Yes, ma'am.
I don't have any questions, but I must recognize that I'm very proud of the programs that you all have implemented and out of the Social Service Department. A lot of people are not aware of all of this stuff, and you bringing this report to us, I'm very, very, very impressed because now is a time and a need. And a lot of these people that need are people that could provide for themselves before COVID. So I'm very impressed with it. And more than that, I'm impressed that the morale has built up over there. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm very impressed with that department right now. So thank you all, and I know you both, the two of you, had a lot to do with it. So I want to give you kudos now.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I will say COVID has been a challenge. We're very fortunate that the Board of Commissioners within the last 5 years has allowed us to have the Northwood system that allows us to have a document management system where we can go online and see our records. We're totally paperless over there. We no longer have case files. Way back when Paula was the IT director, she started with DSS and other departments of being proactive and bringing in new technologies. Ira has continued that. Right now, we probably have, and we cut back even more last week, right now we probably have 30 or 35 individuals out of 196 that are working in the county office over at DSS. Most are at home. They're able to remote in. They can actually view their desktop just like if they were sitting at their desk. But it's been a challenge. COVID has been a challenge, especially for the parents that have had children with doing the virtual schooling. We've had some that need to take some mental health weeks off due to COVID and their job stress. But we have continued to meet the state numbers. DSS is under a memorandum of understanding with the state that will meet certain criteria and certain guidelines, and every year we've been able to do that. We've not had any corrective actions, but that is due to the type of employees that we have. They pull themselves up, they band together, and they know what the goals are, and they accomplish what we need to accomplish to make sure that the citizens of the county are getting the services they need. So thank you very much, Ms. McCoy, for that. And I invite anybody to come over and just take a tour of the building and sit and listen to what we do, because one of the best days was when Mr. Springle first came on our DSS board. He called and said, Paul, hey, I'm getting my truck worked on over here at the Ford place. Can you come pick me up? I said, yes, sir, I'll be glad to do that. Well, it took him a little bit longer to get his truck fixed than normal. So he just went around the building and spoke with the employees. I just left him alone, and he went around and spoke to the different employees. And to me, that's one of the best things that's ever happened to this agency, because Mr. Springle has been an advocate for our department. He's always praised our employees. He sees the family relationships that we have there. He sees that everybody's pulling together for the same goal. And he's made me a better director by being on our DSS board. You know, he's been a commissioner. I know he's brought information from the DSS board meetings back over here to the commissioners. He's always been an advocate for us. So at this time, we want to present him something showing our appreciation to him. Kelly, if you would read that.
Yes, this is presented to Mr. Gordon Springle, the DSS board member, in grateful appreciation for your years of outstanding service and devotion to Harnett County DSS from 2015 to 2020. We appreciate all that you've done for us, Mr. Springle. We'll miss
It's
you.
my honor to serve on that board. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Get you here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank y'all, we appreciate it.
We appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you, sir.
All right, fleet maintenance update. Beth Glenson?
Yeah, and this is Paula Stewart. I just want to mention to you that the reason we're having the departments come in, not only for your benefit, but for the citizens to hear some of the things that are going on in the county, that really, these things happen every day, but you're not really aware of what's going on. And so we think it was real important for you to hear about DSS, especially the things that they do during the Christmas holiday to help other people, make other people's lives better. And so I asked Beth Blinson to come. She's our manager of the fleet and fleet maintenance department. And we've made a lot of changes in our facilities, and fleet used to be one department together, and we've separated them now. And the best part about that is they're directly under the county manager's office. So we know exactly what's going on with our vehicles, exactly what's going on with our buildings, our grounds, and all that. So I want Beth to just give you a little bit of a little bit of information on some of the positive changes we've been making with our fleet acquisition and our fleet maintenance department. I want her to kind of explain a little bit about what the garage does and those kind of things, because that's something that you may not know about. It's kind of the behind-the-scenes department. So we're going to let Beth take it away.
Good morning, Beth.
Good morning. How are y'all? Good. The Fleet Maintenance Department has a staff of 3 full-time and 1 part-time employees. I serve as the Fleet Management Specialist. We have a Fleet Maintenance Garage Supervisor, a Senior Maintenance Mechanic, and a part-time Maintenance Mechanic. Together, we have approximately 75 years of service working for County of Harnett, and I think that's pretty impressive. We welcome you all to visit the Fleet Maintenance Garage from 7 to 4. It's located at 1100 East McNeil Street, and I'm located in the Facilities and Services building at 200 Alexander Drive. What do we do in fleet maintenance? We maintain approximately 450 fleet vehicles for the county. Approximately 240 of those are emergency vehicles, sheriff, EMS, and fire marshal. 150 are enterprise fund or grant funded vehicles, Harnett Regional Water, Solid Waste, and Hearts. And 60 vehicles are managed through the Fleet Acquisition Program. Fleet vehicles are serviced through the garage every 5,000 miles for oil changes. Our staff conducts a full function review of each vehicle from front to back. They check everything from lights, fluids, tires, to suspension of the vehicle. Our fleet management and replacement system, we're in year 3 of funding for the Fleet Management and Replacement System, or Fleet Acquisition Program. We want to thank the Board of Commissioners for funding $200,000 through fiscal year 2024 as we build the department self-lease program for these fleet vehicles. Thank you all. Since 2018, we've purchased 21 vehicles through the program for 10 county departments. Lease payments are entered monthly through a journal entry process. Currently, we're collecting $7,459 a month for the 21 leased vehicles. We also want you to know that we're in the middle of a major fleet analysis project. Renee Pascal and Lisa McFadden are conducting a fleet analysis study of the 60 vehicles in the lease and replacement program. We have provided extensive, lengthy, copious amounts of data on these vehicles for this study to ensure long-term sustainability of the self-leasing program. Information and findings will be presented upon completion of the study. Fleet administration. Over the last 2 or 3 years, we've revamped like Paula said, we've revamped the administrative side of the fleet maintenance department. We've scrubbed and updated department vehicle list and driver's list, making sure all information is current and up to date in our database systems. We work closely with risk management, providing annual department lists of vehicles and drivers for insurance purposes. This year, risk management and HR collaborated with us to revise or upgrade the county's vehicle use policy. Our department also updated the fuel card policy. We sent the revised policy to all departments for employee driver review and acknowledgement. And then we have a WEX fuel card program. The county fuel card vendor is Fleet Services, or we call it WEX cards. A WEX fuel card is assigned to each vehicle, and employees have a PIN to make fuel purchases for the vehicle fuel card, or with the vehicle fuel card. At the beginning of the fiscal year, we encumber department fuel lines through a service contract. Each month, we receive a monthly fuel invoice from WEX. I review all department charges, all 311 pages, complete a department breakdown to accompany the invoice for finance, and send the reports to departments for their review and reference. WEX reporting software also allows us to track active use and mileage on all fleet vehicles. We scrub the driver's list often to maintain a current database of active drivers in that system also. A new project we've got is team software. Fleet maintenance is one of the departments working with IT and finance to implement Tyler Enterprise Asset Maintenance, or TEAM, software. Johnny Stone, the fleet maintenance garage supervisor, and I are attending Tyler classes from August to March to build county fleet assets and programs in Munis. We'll be able to track assets, work orders, mileage, fleet health, etc. And in addition, we can import monthly fuel reports from WEX, which is super cool, into this software, which will help us on the preventive maintenance side, along with managing annual fuel allocation and reporting for departments when it comes time for budgeting these numbers. We have another project, our vehicle work order project. During the budget meetings for this fiscal year, we reviewed vehicle work order processes with the county manager and budget team. For years, fleet maintenance processed monthly work orders on all county vehicles brought to the garage for preventive maintenance, repair, and tires. The work orders were funded through the fleet maintenance budget, with the exception of enterprise and grant-funded departments. The two handouts, and she's got one posted here, the two handouts in your package show the actual work order costs for the last fiscal year and this fiscal year. The highlighted departments on the fiscal year 2019 and 2020 are the enterprise and or grant-funded departments that reimbursed fleet maintenance. All other department work orders costs were funded through fleet's budget. Departments didn't know the actual operating costs of their department vehicles, which was needed in the budget process. Paula and the budget team agreed that we needed to streamline this process. We worked with Renee Pascal and Lisa McFadden a lot this past winter to annualize the cost of vehicle repair and maintenance based on 3 years of department data. The estimated expense was included in the department budgets for fiscal year 2021 in a repair and maintenance vehicle line. By tracking this information, we're able to analyze actual vehicle operating costs by department. The second handout shows the first 4 months of this fiscal year with all department costs running through their respective repair and maintenance vehicle lines. That's that one pulled up. And I think I'm turning that into Paula every quarter also. So now each department head receives a monthly report of vehicle work orders so they can monitor actual operating costs for their department vehicles. And I'm happy to report that the new work order process seems to be going well. Retirement of fleet vehicles. With the addition of the fleet acquisition program, we established standards for vehicles and sales of retired vehicles. We sell fleet vehicles through govdeals.com, which is an online auction platform receiving thousands of hits or looks on our website. On our vehicles. Currently, we are selling an aged fleet with high mileage and poor engine quality, resulting in lower sales prices, but these are going to pop up. This year, COVID-19 hindered our GovDeal sales, but we have a batch of vehicles to sell late winter or early spring. So we have a lot of people come look at the vehicles, and right now we can't really do that. Occasionally, we have a handful of retired sheriff vehicles that are donated to CCCC for their basic law enforcement training classes. Other miscellaneous fleet responsibilities that we do. Our department also manages all North Carolina DMV title work for registrations of all non-emergency vehicles. Everybody just knows to send it to me. I take care of putting the title work together, getting Kimberly to sign everything, and then I take it to DMV and obtain the registration card and license plates for those vehicles. We also process monthly North Carolina Quick Pass fees and charge fees to the appropriate departments. We have the emergency vehicles are not supposed to be charged. Those are all turned in and blocked in the system so they don't get charged. But we have Hart's vehicles that have to take people to Chapel Hill, and we have DSS vehicles that use Quick Pass. Okay. We appreciate everything you all do for fleet maintenance, our department and our staff, and I will be glad to answer any questions you may have.
I'd like to say how we appreciate what you guys do, because you really got it going on over there.
We got it going on.
It'd be hard to think about the county having to shut down from vehicle failure. We just appreciate you guys doing all that.
Thank you, thank you.
Again, go ahead, Ms. McCoy.
I have a couple questions, though. You talk about retiring the vehicles
Yes, ma'am.
as they age on. Give me a little breakdown on that process. And let me ask this question too while you're answering. How do you advertise when you want to put it out to the public?
We don't really advertise. We put it on GovDeals. It is amazing the amount of people that look at GovDeals on a daily basis. I mean, we'll have 1,200 hits or looks on a particular vehicle, and people are just on there. It's a guy thing, I think. I don't know. But we do not advertise that, and that might be something that we could do with Ashley is put something when we're going to have a batch. That's a good idea.
Because it gives the citizens of the county an opportunity.
Right. Well, and we narrow it down. Like people can go in there and search a zip code or a town. It's unbelievable the amount of hits that we get from that. And it's not just vehicles. We put surplus furniture on there, not computers, but it's amazing the amount of stuff that is on GovDeals.
Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
Do you give the employees of the county an opportunity to access these retired vehicles?
I mean, they can go on GovDeals and set up an account and buy it, that way. And the standards we're putting in place, what you mentioned earlier, used to, we would drive the vehicles to death till they fell apart and then sell them, and you really wouldn't get anything for them. You'd get scrap, you know. And so now, we're putting some mileage limits and age on those vehicles.
That's the next question I was going to ask you. Do you have a mileage limit? Some companies have terms by years,
Right.
and some have terms by mileage. Because that's where, when I was working, I had lease cars.
Yes, ma'am. And that's part of that fleet analysis study that we'll get from Renee and Lisa, some of their findings. They'll help us pinpoint those, but we're kind of thinking 60,000 miles, the powertrain warranty. But we'll have those findings for you shortly after the first of the year, I would imagine.
Well, I can tell you by experience, 60,000 is a good number.
Okay, good. Good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
I want to thank Beth and her staff, the staff of Fleet. They do a great job. And Johnny that she talked about, he'll actually, if a car is broken down, he'll do assistance, roadside assistance. So I've been in IT before. We got stranded between Wilmington and here, and they came and they fixed the vehicle, you know, and they get you back home. So they're really, not only do they work in the garage, they are out and mobile and doing things on the roadside to help us. So they really do. There have been many cases where I've seen them have to go out, like, it could be on the weekends or at night too because
he's 24/7.
Yeah, we're 24/7, just so you know, and they do a wonderful job. And all of them, like she said, are very dedicated. And I think putting them in our office has made us be a little bit more engaged with what they're doing and being able to make some recommendations that really save the county money and will make more money on doing the self-leasing rather than just buying the vehicles and driving them till the tires fall off. You know, we're trying to make it where we've been able to be self-funded eventually. So I just want to give them the kudos like you gave DSS, Ms. McCoy. They've done an outstanding job. So
Thank you.
Good job.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Discuss proposed 2021 schedule of meetings of Harnett County Board of Education, or Commissioners, sorry.
So you have before you, this is Paula Stewart again, you have before you the 2021 proposed schedule of meetings. And we just wanted to go ahead and give it to you as just for you to be looking at, and it'll actually be voted on at the meeting Monday. So it's just kind of for you to talk about. What we did basically is we kept the same format we have used in the past years. And so it's just having 2 work sessions and 2 board meetings per month. And this could change again, like I said, on Monday, but this was just the proposed schedule that we had been following for the past several years. So, and
The rules of procedures have the board meeting the first and third Mondays of the month. Then the work session that's scheduled is the week prior to that, so you prepare for that upcoming meeting and anything else, just so you get why the calendar, how it comes to be.
And I did want to point out on January 12th is a Tuesday, we're proposing to have our planning retreat that day. So again, this will be voted on Monday, the 7th.
Do you have a place for a retreat?
Not yet. We're just going to wait and see how COVID is and how, you know, if we need to do it virtually, if we need to do it, you know, that's still to be determined. It may be virtual because we'll usually have a lot of extra people here. So we know that's probably going to be a virtual planning retreat.
Paul, it seems like the meetings schedules were different for a while, then we changed to this schedule here.
Right. We used to have,
For about 6 months, the board tried to do 1 work session
Right.
a month.
Too long?
And then 2 of it was long, and they felt disengaged because when they had that second meeting to vote on things, you didn't have a work session prior to it to review or have staff come to you and things. So they did try that and then went back and revised it.
Well, I just want to say that I like it like that. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't like voting on things that I don't have no understanding of. I need to know what I'm voting on, and I need to know how it's going to affect the citizens of this county. So I don't know what's going to happen for the future, but I like it like that.
okay, so noted.
All right. County manager's report.
Okay, this is Paula Stewart again. I have Larry Smith here today. John Rouse had an appointment and could not be here. But John did send me some information. He said that Harnett County our health department has provided 850 COVID-19 tests at the sites that we've been doing this month. We're showing a 4% positive rate. And we're going to be at Western Harnett Middle School Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. And they canceled yesterday because of the weather, and all this is done outside under tents, and they were afraid with that wind that they were not going to be able to have a successful day. So, and we'll send you, as soon as we get the information from the health department on the numbers today, we'll send that out to you. But I think the sites have been going well. I'm not sure. I think Larry has been there.
Yeah, everything at the sites are going well. Like I had said in the last meeting, the first day was a few hiccups, but we got over those. We've had quite a few responses to it. We've had a lot of county employees actually that have utilized that. And so far, so good with all of that. And I believe the Guard finishes their mission on December 4th, and they haven't extended that yet. We're still waiting on to see if State EM and Health and Human Services is going to extend any of those type of drive-throughs. Yeah, and as far as EMS and emergency management goes, EMS right now, we're still 100%, got every unit on the road. I've got a couple employees that are waiting on their PCR test. They've had a couple rapid tests that were negative, but we went ahead and had them do the regular PCR test to make sure that they're good. We're still dispensing PPE to our partners, that's the fire departments and our EMS squads that are out there. And we've been working on, since about May timeframe, on putting together a cache of PPE for the future. Our ultimate goal is we want to have at least 90 days worth of masks, gloves, and things like that for EMS, the fire department, so that we've got that on hand all the time. And we're working on a plan right now that we're going to rotate that stock so that as EMS needs gloves and we order, we're going to come down, take it out of our cache, replace our order with the cache, so the stuff will always be within date. Part of the problem with protective equipment like that is the manufacturer puts a best sell by and a best use by date on it. So we want to make sure that we're rotating that stuff so that we've always got a good cache of serviceable PPE. And other than that, that's pretty much what we've got for this week.
I got a question about that. Larry, there's an article in the paper about COVID-19 antibodies test. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Do you think that's a worthwhile effort?
I'm not really sure. I hadn't talked to John. We've had a little discussion on it, and I think right now with the antibody test, part of the problem is that the positivity rate on that is kind of up in the air on whether those tests are actually working right. I think right now if somebody feels they've got the symptoms or they get a test, a normal test would be the best, I would say. And I don't think there's a lot of those antibody tests available right now. I know there's a couple locations, some private doctors that are doing them, and I believe one of the Harnett Health locations has them that they're giving their employees to try to get a heads up on who may have it. I think for the healthcare workers right now, that's probably a good idea, but for the general public, I'd recommend to just get your test if you're in doubt.
Okay, I got that yesterday.
Okay.
Took 10 minutes, came back negative. So there's no hassle at all, just prick your finger, 10 minutes, you're out of there.
Yeah.
And I will give, this is Paula again, I will give you an update. We've had several departments be hit pretty strongly with COVID. It's taken out some whole departments, it's taken out some half departments. So that's why I implemented about a couple of weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving, that I really wanted people to start tightening back up in the offices, because we were not sure if they're getting it from work or from outside and bringing it in. But we've gone back to a stricter teleworking policy. We don't gather in the halls. We don't have in-person meetings unless we have to. So we are heeding everything that we're hearing, and we're taking it very seriously in the county. So I just wanted y'all to know that's, I've been sending y'all emails that even our staff is going to start teleworking, because we feel like, we've had some close calls in our own little corner of the world, and it gets tough as time goes on, especially if you know people in your family that have been hit or friends, and it's been tough. So we are getting a lot more of it, and for departments like social services, it's been good that they have been able to telework. And like we said, all this technology we have is very helpful at a time like this. So thank you, Larry.
Thanks, sir.
That's the right thing to do.
And next we have the discussion of the board meeting on Monday at 9. So always the first meeting in December is the reorganization of the board. So the current board members will be here for the first part of the meeting. We'll do the regular agenda, and then we'll recess the meeting and have the swearing-in ceremony. And at that time, Dwight he'll be the leader of the swearing-in ceremony. And then once that's over, we'll reconvene, and then Gina will come up, clerk to the board, and do the reorganization where you'll vote for your chair, vice chair, and that'll happen. And then we'll go on with the regular meeting, the new business, as shown on this draft form you have before you. So the consent agenda for that meeting will be, for the new board, will be budget amendments, the schedule of meetings we just talked about. And if you don't want that on consent agenda, let us know and we'll make it an item for discussion. There's a soil and water award of bid for storm debris removal. Cooperative Extension's requesting approval to receive renewal of the child care block grant in the amount of $26,874. And an item that we're still working on that should be on here will be the Veterans Court grant ongoing. And then we'll have the informal comment, and we do have to have the public comment at this meeting because we don't have a second meeting in December. And then we'll have appointments, and we'll get to that in just a second. And then Emergency Services, on behalf of Somerville Bund Level Fire and Rescue, requests board approval for the purchase of a used rescue service truck. The replacement cost is $187,900. And then we'll have county manager's report.
And Larry Smith will present that on behalf of the Somerville Bund Level.
Is there a match for county?
The county doesn't have anything. The board just has to approve their capital purchases. And that's all for the agenda. And if you'll look in your, before you'll have your appointments that are coming up. So just be sure you review those. We've got the application attached. There's two appointments needed: Adult Home Care Advisory Committee and Southeastern Economic Development Commission. So that'll be the two appointments needed on Monday.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
And then the last couple things I've got, the upcoming meetings, we talked about that. Friday is our annual employee awards, service awards, and holiday luncheon is going to be very different this year. Ashley is working really hard with our office and HR on a video. It'll be a video award ceremony. We've had a good response on people we've got pictures of employees and their service awards. There'll be comments from some of you and some of our staff thanking the employees for what they've done this year. And then it'll Friday from 11:30 to 1, I guess it's 11:30 to 1:30. And each department knows what time to come get their food. We're going to have Ron's Barn, and they're going to have everything already packaged up. So it'll just be a drive-through situation. They come, we hand it to them through the window, and then some of us will be taking the plates to the other departments. So some will be delivered, and some will drive up over at the Commons area and pick up their lunch. So that's our annual thank you to employees for their service.
And that's this Friday?
This Friday.
Okay, thank you.
And the last thing I want to mention is, we've been talking about the GREAT grant for broadband and recently, well, we issued an RFP to try to get a partner so that we could apply for the grant. We entered into an agreement with a company called Cloudwise. The board agreed to commit $2 million of the county's Displaced Corona Relief Fund allocation toward broadband. Cloudwise applied for the 2020 supplementary GREAT grant, and we were supposed to hear back from it on November 9th, and we didn't hear anything. So then Cloudwise actually received an email from the GREAT grant office on November 18th stating that it has been determined that these projects are not eligible for CARES Act funding under the current U.S. Department of Treasury guidelines. There seemed to be some confusion about the money, and so Governor Cooper is holding that money, trying to figure out if it can really be used for this or not. So there's been some, between the U.S. Treasury and our North Carolina government, there's been some issues with whether it can or cannot be used for that purpose. So the point is, things are up in the air. We're waiting more information. We have met, myself, Brian, several of us have met with CloudWise, Ira Hall, our IT director, trying to still come up with a plan to move forward using our local money. We may not be able to do as big a project as we had thought, but we still feel like we don't need to just drop it. We need to keep going. So we believe that there's some things we can do to lay the groundwork now for eventual receipt of a great grant when they open it back up. So nobody in the state got awarded any great grant funds. And so that's, it's been, everybody's very disappointed across the state. A lot of the tier 1, tier 2 counties, we were really hoping we could get this money. And so, you know, it's just a waiting game right now. But I wanted you to know that we're still continuing to pursue some type project, and we'll be back before you with when we have more information. But I just wanted to give you an update on that.
Thank you, Paul.
And that's all I have.
Oh, can I ask the question?
Yes, you can.
Since it's up in the air, and no county got the grant, have anybody contacted our legislatures in Washington to see, you know, what's what? I mean, because
There's been
the
a,
governor as well as the counties thought that, you know, we were eligible for this money. And we was counting on this money to bring broadband to the areas that don't have broadband.
people have been in contact, and the NCAC, the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners, has also is helping be our champion in this. So they're talking to legislators for a collective body for the whole state. Instead of us going directly, we're letting them.
Okay.
And then there's a group, the state broadband office, they're also heavily involved with this. So there's a lot of advocacy going on, and we're in constant communication about it.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that, because we need that money.
Yes, we do.
All right, before we go into closed session, Gordon Springer would like to make a statement.
This is my last opportunity to speak. This week in most churches, this is the first week of Advent, and we light the candle of hope. So I have some hopes that I want to talk about. First hope is, I hope the Harnett County Schools will start doing a little bit better job of giving us correct information. One of the problems we've had since the 8 years I've been commissioner is that we have never gotten really correct information on what capital needs are, what they actually cost. To give you a good example, we were pushed very hard by communities, by Irwin community, to build a new school, a $23 million school. The board approved the school, now it's $28 million. In 2014, the county approved a $100 million school bond. I had actually had people come to me and say, well, that's great because we'll have to pay the money back. I could not believe people thought that. But one thing that happened was, had we spent the $100 million in 2015, the tax increase would have been 11 cents per $100 in the county. But the county didn't do that. The county was very frugal with their money, and over the years, we have used that money up to this point with no tax increase, which I think is a great thing. We were supposed to get monthly reports from the school district on a financial report every month. The report that we get is very confusing. And I remember Mr. Elmore said, why can't we get a report that says, this is the money you get from the state, this is the money you get from the county, this is what you spent the money on, and this is what you got left. He thought, and I agree, that we should have a very simple report. The good news is I am very pleased that the Harnett County school system is participating in the capital improvement plan, because that is really going to help give the commissioners better information on what the future needs of the county is going to be. You think about it, when we first started talking about a school in Northwest Harnett, you're building a school in Irwin for $28 million, and I'm talking about, on the report they gave to the state was $31 million, now it's $38 million. So we really need you need some good information from the county. The other hope is, I hope that you'll continue to work with your legislative and congressional delegates. These people are extremely important to you. Everything that happens, the state and Raleigh and in Washington comes down to the county. The things they don't want to pay for, you get a chance to pay for. You'll find that just like the 2020 budget, the governor decided to veto the budget because he wanted to expand the Medicaid. What he didn't realize is there's a lot of money that did not come to this county because he vetoed that budget. Money that was earmarked for projects within this county by our legislators that tried to help this county, and that money will never come to this county. Medicaid expansion. 2018, legislature decided that they're going to expand, to go to managed care Medicaid. And they're going to do it across the state on a region-by-region basis. We went to a meeting, the association meeting, and they could not explain how that thing was going to work. And now, starting November 1st, they're going to institute that program throughout the state all at one time, and nobody knows how it's going to work. And it's probably going to come right back down to this county. It's incredible. Your North Carolina Association of County Commissioners and your National Association of Counties are so important to this county. And being involved in those groups of people are essential for the county to move forward. And I can tell you that my involvement in the association has been invaluable as far as what other counties are doing and how other counties function. And I can tell you, when you start talking about what goes on in other counties, and you go to a conference, you'll find that you'll be glad to come back to Harnett County because we don't have near the problems that a lot of counties have. Another hope is, I hope that people in Western Harnett decide they want to create some towns. They are losing out by not having some towns in Western Harnett. And I can tell you that if they create a couple of towns in Western Harnett, they'll be the largest towns in the county. But right now, they don't have a voice at the table like other towns do in the county because they have no towns. And I hope that changes. Another hope is, I hope that you will continue to support, be aware that there are people that support you in providing information. You appoint a clerk. Gina Wheeler has been absolutely wonderful to work with over the years. She has provided us information that's totally invaluable as far as helping us do the things we need to do. And now you got Lindsay Lucas who's going to do, I'm sure, it's just as good a job. You appoint a board attorney, Dwight Snow. Dwight not only gives you legal advice, but he has a history that can go back and tell you some things that has taken place in this county that you don't want to do again. I can tell you. And he is going to be a tremendous help to you. You appoint a finance officer. Kimberly Honeycutt handles the money like it's her own money. And that is great because she gives you the information that you need when you need it. And she is the one that really is just a super person, but not only that, she does a great job with her department. You appoint a tax administrator, Bill Tyson. Bill has done a wonderful job over at the tax office. And what they do to collect taxes in this county is an example for the rest of the state. You hire a county manager. Your county manager basically is the captain of the ship of government. And she is the person that's going to help you do a better job. She operates this county on a day-to-day basis. But she keeps you informed. She asks you for your opinion. You're the one that directs where the ship's going to go. And she can help you in every way possible. I hope that we'll continue to look at public utilities. Public utilities are a tremendous asset to this county. We have a lot of developers who think that the county needs to pay for infrastructure. Well, the county's not going to pay for infrastructure. This is an enterprise fund. The enterprise fund functions because the customers pay the bill. So when a developer wants you to pay for infrastructure for their development so they can make more money, they're asking the 46,000 customers of the public utilities to make that payment, not the county, but these customers to make that payment. Ahead of you, you got to expand the sewer plant. You need to build a new water plant on this side of the river that we own land down in Irwin. We need to update our water lines and sewer lines. Many of the water lines that are put in years ago paid for by USDA was only there because they wanted to provide water to the citizens. That's not what we need today. What you need today is you need water, and also you need water to build for fire protection. There's 135,000 people in this county that need this, that need you to make the decisions that's going to be best for them. And I can say that this board, over the years, has made decisions that's best for the county, not for our district. Since I've been a commissioner, particularly since 2014, I've never worked on a board that says, look, we don't necessarily agree on everything, but we're going to do what's best for the county. No one came in with an agenda. No one talked about, well, this is what I want, this is what's best for me. They talked about what's best for the county, and I am so appreciative of that opportunity. I want to take the opportunity to thank the employees of this county. We have over 900 full-time and part-time employees that we fund it, but they're the ones that provide the services that you want to all the citizens of this county. They do a great job. As Paul talked about in social services is just one of the 25 departments that we have in this county that provide services. They do a great job. And I just can't say enough about how they come to work and take the county, the benefits to the county citizens first, and when they do their job. We are so fortunate. And one thing we've been able to do as commissioners over the years is we've been able to improve their salaries through a salary plan. We've been able to increase their better benefits, mainly because these people are that important to all of us. It has absolutely been a privilege and honor for me to serve as a county commissioner for the last 8 years, and I certainly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Gordon. Before we go any further, if I understand this right, one of our clerks has a birthday coming up?
Me. It is December now.
When is your birthday?
The 21st.
The 21st, okay, I had it a little early. All right.
But it's a big birthday, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I'll be 30.
Whoa.
I don't remember that.
Do we have a need to go in closed session?
Mr. Chairman, I got to make a motion that the board goes into closed sessions for the following purposes: the consultation with the county's legal staff in order to preserve the county client privilege concerning the handling of certain claims, litigation, including the workman's compensation claim of Joseph Myatt, IC file number 17009187.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Vote on that for,
Yes. Brooks?
Brooks?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, we are in closed session.